can see we're busy this evening." "No problem, Martha," he replied. "Only popped in for a swift one. Been into Kendal for a meeting with the bank manager. Now I have to get home to the missus."
"And how is Mary?"
"Oh, she's grand, thanks."
"Will we be seeing you over Christmas? We've still got spaces if you want to come for lunch tomorrow, and we're laying on a special Boxing Day buffet."
Robert shrugged. "I'll have to speak to Mary. She's got loads in. My daughter Charlotte and her boyfriend Neil are staying with us. But if they're up for it, I am."
"Well, pass on my best wishes if you all decide to stay at the farm."
"I will. Now, before I go, can you give me 2 bottles of your house white wine and a bottle of sherry?"
"Coming right up,"
she said, and moments later passed them to him in a plastic carrier bag. He paid her in cash, and she handed over the change along with a receipt. Outside, the temperature had plummeted, and the snow that had fallen earlier lay like a blanket across the village. Once Robert was behind the wheel of his Land Rover, he switched on the heater. As he pulled out of the car park, he tried to force his mind away from his mounting problems so that he could concentrate on driving. Home was 9 miles from the village, and the ice and uncleared snow made the roads treacherous. The journey along the winding country lanes was slow and, thankfully, uneventful, and he finally arrived home just before 7. Oak Tree Farm was situated off the beaten track between 2 of Cumbria's many spectacular fells. It gave off the only light for miles around. Robert pulled up in the large front yard between the 2-story house and the old barn. He switched off the ignition, then the lights. He told himself that he wouldn't burden Mary with their money worries until after Boxing Day, when their lawyer came to the farm for the meeting he had arranged. Instead, he would try his best to make this an enjoyable family Christmas. After all, the last time he saw Charlotte was when they got together to celebrate Mary's 55th birthday 3 weeks ago. Their daughter had moved into Neil's flat in Kendal back in June, and since then had only visited the farm a handful of times. He was looking forward to finding out how the pair were getting on, and if Charlotte was enjoying her new job as a shop assistant in the town. As he stepped out of the Land Rover with the bag of drinks, he glanced up at the brightly lit windows and felt a tremor of anxiety. It suddenly occurred to him just how hard it was going to be to put on a brave face and enter into the spirit of Christmas. In fact, he was pretty sure that he wouldn't be able to make it work without plenty of booze inside him. So, getting tipsy as soon as possible was a priority. The thought actually made him smile as he headed towards the house. But the smile slipped away when something caught his eye. There was a set of shoe prints in the otherwise pristine snow, and Robert was sure that they hadn't been there earlier. They were coming from the road and leading over to the steps on the right side of the house, the ones that descended to the cellar door. And yet there were no prints going in the opposite direction. It puzzled him because the cellar door was always locked, and there was only one set of keys, which hung from a hook in the kitchen. What's more, Mary rarely ventured down there because she'd convinced herself many years ago that it was haunted. He tightened his grip on the bag and went to investigate. What he saw made him frown further. The shoe prints went down the steps and stopped in front of the door, which suggested that whoever had gone in there hadn't yet come out. But who could it be? He was about to go down and check when the sound of raised voices suddenly came from inside the house. They were loud enough to cause a blast of alarm to shoot through him. Instinct told him that what was going on in the house had to be more important than what might be happening in the cellar, so he turned sharply on his heels and rushed towards the front door. Just as he reached it, the shouting was drowned out by a high-pitched scream that sent his pulse racing. Then, as he pushed the door open, another sound reached him. The sound of breaking glass. Chapter 1. Wednesday, December 27th. James Walker woke up suddenly, his mind dragged from sleep by the shriek of the alarm telling him it was 7:30. He stretched his arm out.